Good morning, everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to take an in-depth look at property crimes, what causes them, the impact they have on individuals and communities, and the various ways we can work to prevent them. This presentation will provide a comprehensive overview of property offenses, explore their effects on society, examine legal responses, and highlight effective safety measures. I'm excited to share this important information with you. So let's dive in. Property crimes are illegal actions that involve either stealing or damaging someone else's property. These offenses don't just impact property owners financially, they can also cause a lot of emotional stress and anxiety. On a broader scale, when property crimes become common in a community, they can erode public safety, lower everyone's quality of life, and make people feel more vulnerable to becoming victims themselves. That's why it's so important to really understand the nature of these crimes. Gaining this understanding allows us to develop better strategies to prevent them. Ultimately, the main goal is to create safer environments where people can live without fear of losing their property or feeling threatened. Property crimes are criminal acts that involve stealing, damaging, or unlawfully taking someone else's property. The key factor here is the intent behind these offenses. The goal is always to interfere with property ownership, whether that means theft, vandalism, or another form of property damage. It's important to understand how property crimes differ from violent crimes. While violent crimes involve harm or the threat of harm to people, property crimes specifically target possessions and assets without causing direct physical injury. So, in property crimes, the primary victim is not a person but the property itself, which makes this category unique in how the law addresses it. Let's go over the main types of property crimes. First, burglary. This involves breaking into a building without permission, usually to steal something or commit another serious crime. Then, we have theft, which is taking someone else's property without their consent and with the goal of keeping it permanently. Robbery is a bit different because it involves taking property through force or threats, and it happens face to face with the victim. Another type is arson, where someone deliberately sets fire to property, often causing a lot of damage. Lastly, vandalism refers to intentionally damaging or defacing property, like tagging walls with graffiti or breaking windows. Each of these crimes impacts property owners differently, but they all involve a violation of someone's rights and possessions. When we look at the causes and motivations behind property crimes, there are several important factors to consider. First, economic hardship plays a significant role. People facing financial difficulties or poverty may feel pushed towards stealing or damaging property as a way to cope with their struggles. Next, social influences are also crucial. Peer pressure and the environment someone lives in can heavily impact their choices, sometimes encouraging criminal behavior. Addiction is another key factor. Individuals dependent on substances might commit crimes to support their habits, which can create a cycle that's hard to break. Lastly, psychological and situational factors such as stress, desperation, or simply encountering the right opportunity can drive someone toward property offenses. Understanding these motivations helps us address the root causes effectively. When someone becomes a victim, the emotional toll can be significant. They often deal with anxiety, fear, and a diminished sense of safety in their own environment. On the financial side, the consequences can be just as severe, including direct losses of property and the added strain of repair costs or higher insurance premiums. These issues don't just affect individuals. Entire communities can experience a drop in property values and a breakdown in trust among neighbors. Because these impacts are far-reaching and long-lasting, it's crucial that we focus on providing strong support systems and effective prevention strategies to help victims and protect communities. When it comes to property crimes, the legal consequences can vary widely depending on the nature and severity of the offense. Charges can range from misdemeanors for less serious acts to felonies for more serious or repeat offenses. Alongside criminal charges, courts often impose fines and require restitution, which means the offender must compensate the victim financially for their loss. In some cases, instead of jail time, offenders may be sentenced to probation or community service. These alternatives focus more on rehabilitation and making amends rather than just punishment. However, for serious crimes or repeat offenders, imprisonment is common, involving custodial sentences where the individual is confined to jail or prison. Understanding these potential penalties helps illustrate how the justice system responds to property crimes. When it comes to preventing property crimes, personal precautions are the first line of defense. This means making sure your home is secure with sturdy locks, alarms, and good lighting. Protecting your valuables and staying alert to any suspicious activity also makes a big difference. Moving beyond the individual level, community initiatives play a vital role as well. Neighborhood watch programs encourage people to look out for one another, and working closely with law enforcement helps keep everyone informed and vigilant. Public awareness campaigns are also key in educating residents about safety practices. Speaking of law enforcement, their role includes regular patrols to deter criminals, responding quickly to any incidents, and using crime analysis to strategically focus their efforts where they're needed most. When we combine all these measures, personal precautions, community involvement, and proactive policing, we create a much stronger safety net that substantially reduces the chances for property crimes and helps everyone feel more secure. Looking at recent trends and statistics in property crimes, we see that rates have been fluctuating quite a bit, largely influenced by social and economic factors. It's important to note how these broader conditions play a role in crime patterns. When we examine different regions, some are actually reporting declines in property crimes. This improvement can often be attributed to better crime prevention strategies and advances in technology, which help law enforcement stay ahead. However, not all areas are seeing the same positive trends. Certain regions are experiencing increases in property crime, often related to economic downturns or shifts in population demographics. These factors can create environments where crime is more likely to occur. Key statistics help us understand these dynamics more clearly. They reveal variations in the types of property crimes being committed, where these crimes are most common geographically, and which groups of people are most affected. This detailed information is crucial for crafting targeted responses. Finally, it's essential to continuously monitor these trends. Keeping a close watch allows law enforcement agencies and community organizations to adapt their strategies and respond more effectively to the changing landscape of property crime, ensuring better protection and prevention over time. To sum up, property crimes refer to offenses that cause harm mainly by damaging or stealing property, affecting both individuals and communities. Unlike violent crimes, these offenses are often influenced by social and economic factors, but they still carry serious emotional and financial consequences. The legal system tackles property crimes with a variety of penalties designed to fit the severity of the offense. Prevention is key, requiring teamwork between individuals, communities, and law enforcement to be truly effective. Finally, staying aware and taking proactive measures is crucial in lowering both the frequency and impact of these crimes.